Welcome back, ladies and gents, to another episode of the Comic Nation podcast. Apologies for our laugh, because we have just recorded an episode. I think we were maybe at about 10 minutes into it.
10 minutes or so.
And I had forgotten to press record on the Roadcaster, so that is my bad.
For once, it wasn't my fault. We had to restart.
For once, it wasn't Lucas' fault. So for those, we will start afresh. For those listening, welcome. My name is Curtis, and I am the co-host here of the Comic Nation podcast. And to my left here, or to your right, wherever you're watching it, this is Luca Campbell. He is the second co-host, or the co-host, should we say, the second co-host?
Yeah, well, it'd just be this co-host.
It'd be the co-host or co-host. Yes. How are you, Luca? How's things?
I'm good. Yourself, Chris?
I'm all good. I am all good. We are here to discuss a latest project within the Marvel Universe. Phase 5 has officially kicked off.
Yes.
And what a way to kick off, should I say. We are here to discuss the brand new Ant-Man and the Wasp movie, featuring our favourite Ant-Man, which is, of course, Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
We have Michael Douglas back in the movie. We've got Evangeline, I believe it's Lily. We were kind of discussing that, and I
think as well. Lily.
I think it's Evangeline Lilly, and of course we've got Michelle Pfeiffer and a whole list of other cast members as well. One of the favourites being obviously Kang, which we know is the bad guy. For those that have not watched the trailer, spoiler alert! Just to obviously let you know, this will be a spoiler podcast, so we will discuss in detail sort of things.
Spoilers ahead.
We'll not do the whole breakdown of the movie, but we'll discuss maybe our favourite parts and, you know, I mean, the visuals in the movie, cast, things like that. We'll talk about that. But just to let you know, there will be spoilers ahead. We're not... If I can maybe pre-warn you before we discuss it, I will. Same as you, if you can think of a spoiler and you're going to say it aloud, maybe give the viewers out there, or the listeners, sorry, should we say, maybe a chance to let them know. So we are currently trying to record this for YouTube and Spotify and Apple Podcasts. So if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button, and of course hit the follow buttons on all the podcasts so you can keep up to date with all things Comic Nation. So Luca, overall thoughts of the movie. First of all, what did you think?
I really liked it. I thought well, as you were saying before, like on the previous attempt, that the
what way to rub it in on the previous attempt.
Yeah.
Sorry,
you
my
messed
bad.
up. That you messed up this time.
My bad.
That Marvel seemed to be going down, and then with Black Panther seems to be shooting up again, and I think this film has continued that. But we've heard what do you call that? Like reviews saying otherwise to that. But I thought it was good. It mixed like the jokes, funness of it, and like the joke side of it, and also the serious side of it, which was very well balanced, and I thought it was good.
I thought it was a well-balanced movie as well. It had the parts where it had to be serious, but it also didn't take itself too serious with the movie.
Yeah, no,
it still had
agree.
that Ant-Man, Paul Rudd humour throughout the kind of movie, and even a few of the other kind of cast members and things like that as well. Kang is what you get with Kang, very serious. You know what I mean? He's a very serious man.
Businessman.
Takes no laughs, like nothing. You know what I mean? That man is full of hate. Whereas Paul Rudd, the family, even a couple of the side characters, should be say supporting roles and things, they were quite funny. They were quite funny. Like a lot of that kind of thing. I really enjoyed the movie. As you said, it's received a lot of hate and a lot of backlash on social media platforms. Again, it's just the world. Nobody's ever happy with anything these days, and It's such a shame. If you just take it for what it is, yes, it's a good Marvel movie. Is it strong as some others? No, of course not. We know that. That's just what tends to happen. I don't know if everybody's just been getting it so good over the past 10 years that because we're now coming into a whole things where we're having to try and reintroduce a...
Like old characters were like, do you mean like that?
No, what I'm meaning by that is like the story that we had before where everything was leading up to Thanos. That, you know what I mean? That's done. Because let's be honest, not everybody at the very start of every Marvel project was absolutely buzzing, knew what was happening, knew where it was going, knew that it was leading up to Thanos. It was only really till you got into like I don't know if he was first introduced in the Avengers movie.
It was Avengers, yeah.
So, you know, I mean, you kind of was like, whoa, who's this guy? And I'm not saying this as somebody that knew everything about Marvel, like coming into Marvel and knowing what was coming. Like, I didn't know. I really got into Marvel once I'd started watching the movies. I grew a love for it and then started to research about it more, found out about some of the comic books and things like that, and get really in depth with some of the characters. But people can't turn around and sit and say that this was like, it was a flop or anything like that. It wasn't. It
wasn't.
was a good. It was a good movie, and it was really well done, directed well. Visuals were great.
Yeah, yeah.
The only gripe maybe I have is Kang. So Kang is the protagonist within the movie. Did you like my word there?
You mean antagonist?
No, protagonist.
Protagonist is the good guy. Antagonist is the bad.
Oh, well, an antagonist. I've already messed that up then.
Gosh darn
God.
it!
God, so I've already messed up. So the bad guy, should we say, the evil gentleman within the movie. So he's meant to be like a Thanos level threat.
Yeah.
And for somebody like Ant-Man, it seemed very not Thanos level.
No, he would not, because they were both like worn out. Because like he was beaten up, like he was just pretty much like just spoilers for certain characters in the film. But I can say it, can I can say it.
Yeah, spoiler alert, just in case.
That old characters back in he introduces a new character, MODOK, isn't it? And basically MODOK is supposed to be the greatest like weapon there is. And it just,
can you remember what the acronym stands for?
It's like mechanical organism designed MODOK only
for killing.
Only for killing, but it's
and
like
they make a joke of that,
yeah.
because it's like, well, that would be MODOF.
Yeah,
K or whatever, Modorf. Which again, it just adds to the Paul Rudd humor and everything that goes about it. You know what I mean? The guy is a comedian at the end of the day. Like he's great at his comedy. But sorry, I'll let you continue on with your point now.
No, basically, so you see him do that, and he must have some sort of gravity powers to some extent. He just picks folk up, and I thought I understand maybe MODOK, because he made him basically, so I can understand that. But then he just picks up like Skang, Scott and Cassie. I thought
clearly, I love that you mixed them two together.
Yeah.
Nice save, by the way. But do you know the one thing we probably didn't describe for those that maybe and again, this is for anybody that has not seen the movie, doesn't know who the hell MODOK even is. MODOK is practically a floating head with tiny arms and tiny legs,
baby legs, and
he's got a powerful brain. Now, Luca didn't really touch on who MODOK was.
No, I didn't.
Again, spoiler alert, if you've seen the first Ant-Man, it's basically the bad guy it's Darren Cross, if I'm right, if his name is. That's the whole...
Darren.
Darren. It was great because it was the whole, I'm MODOK, and he goes, it's the... Darren?
Yeah, all of them just go, all of them when the first time they see
Darren?
Darren?
Because obviously they thought that he'd probably died. Yeah. I think he was obviously left in the quantum realm. I don't think he probably didn't know what the quantum realm was.
No.
The first, it wasn't really addressed. It wasn't until maybe the second.
No. Ant-Man knew what it was, because obviously they tell him don't go too small with that. But he obviously didn't tell Darren that.
It's the first one when he goes into it. Yeah, I know. It's the heist.
It's the heist Marvel movie
where he steals the suit and then tries to return it, gets jailed. Yeah. But does he go into the quantum realm in the first movie?
But they both
Scott.
do. They both, Scott does, and then he gets pulled out somehow or something. But then Scott,
because he triggers it or something, and he grows big. Basically, the quantum realm is like a world underneath ours, or like a teeny world. Like they have to shrink down to get into it. It's got a big explanation for it, and you can also do your research at home if you fancy it and things like that. We kind of discussing MODOK there.
Yeah.
So we were discussing, basically I brought up the point that why wasn't as powerful as what he's made it to be, because they talk about him as being like a Thanos level threat.
Yeah, but think about it. He was just pretty much dogging on everyone. He hit people with a laser beam, and they just disintegrate. Not even disintegrate, they just were erased from time.
And did you see that wasn't his powers? That was all mechanically made.
Yeah.
He's a very smart being or thing, Kang. And for those that have kind of watched Loki and things, you've touched upon Kang, He Who Remains.
Yeah.
This is Kang the Conqueror. But I would have thought Kang the Conqueror would have been top dog. So basically, at the start of the movie, he's exiled from all the Kangs or whatever it is. It's really weird because they're all at war with each other to see who's in charge. That's the whole point of He Who Remains, because he was the top dog.
He won, yeah.
Even though he seems like the most tamest out of them all.
No, but once you've killed everyone, then you're not really going to be angry. You know what I mean? You've already just killed infinite.
Well, he's got the power there, so obviously he must be powerful. But he, at the end of Loki, again spoiler alert, he lets Sylvie basically kill him, and it obviously resets the whole timeline and things like that. But Loki season 2 is coming out very, very soon.
It better do.
Spoiler alert as well, if you don't want to listen to this, but there's obviously a cutscene at the end. It's funny because we're doing this kind of backwards at the minute, but the main thing for me about this movie was obviously the characters like Kang, because not only is this a good wee movie and things like that, but it leads into other things, especially when we're getting like the main kind of projects like King Dynasty and all that kind of stuff.
What did you say?
Kang Dynasty.
I thought you said like King Dynasty.
No, Kang Dynasty. Sorry, just pronounced that a wee bit better there. So Kang Dynasty, which is like the next big Avengers project that's obviously coming, I believe 2025 if I'm right for that. So we've still got a couple of years, but we obviously need to build up all this other projects that we've got coming our way, and it's a very exciting time for Marvel as well. And even with the announcements that we talked about in the last podcast with DC, good competition there again as well. So everybody that's shitting on Marvel at the minute, they might turn around in the next movie and go, yeah, it's listen, I'll always trust Kevin Feige. I'll always will trust him. I think the guy has done an amazing job for Marvel.
Oh no, he has.
And I don't think he deserves half of the stuff that is going about online and stuff like that. I'm just like, people are just never satisfied. It's just great people are never going to be satisfied with anything.
No, I agree. Yeah.
But what did you think of Ant-Man in this movie?
It was sick because it was good because he starts off with like he's like giving in the fame and all that, like, and he doesn't really like, if it's not happening to him, then like he doesn't care about it, which is like the opposite of what an Avenger is.
Yeah.
And then by the end, he's going out his way to like just help folk and all that. Like,
to the point where at the end of the movie, I actually thought that's him. He's dead. I thought he sacrificed himself.
I thought I'm surprised they didn't just kill him.
I thought right, he's obviously going to be sacrificing himself, which I am still torn between the fact that he should have died in the movie. Spoiler alert, he doesn't die.
Spoiler.
We like Paul Rudd. I love Paul Rudd. I love him in any movie he's been in, whether it be something stupid like 40-Year-Old Virgin or like This Is 40, all that kind of stuff. Like I think he's in This Is 40. I'm sure it's him. But I absolutely love Paul Rudd, and he's amazing. The guy does not age. Again, you can he looks the youngest person there, even though he's like one of the oldest. I'm sure he's like 50. Right in his 50s, nearly at the 60 mark. Like,
you know, something that doesn't make sense for me. That see, they're clearly setting up some sort of young Avengers type. They have Ironheart from Wakanda forever. They have the new Shuri. No, wait, what's her name? The new Black Panther.
Shuri.
Yeah, that's right. Then they have I guess She-Hulk, and they have other like Spider-Man. The thing is, I
wouldn't class She-Hulk as
maybe not She-Hulk.
You're talking Ironheart. You're talking the girl from. You're talking Hawkeye.
Kate Bishop.
Kate Bishop. You're talking possibly Shuri. I don't know if she would even qualify for that. I think she would just automatically go into like main Avengers with Black Panther and stuff.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Spider-Man, yes, he can fit into it because of his age. And there was obviously talks about like Tommy and Billy.
Yeah, from
WandaVision, but they're at the minute they're not real.
Not in our universe.
In our universe, so they're not real at the moment. But again, we still got loads of projects to come that will obviously introduce more young. I'd imagine that's because, let's be honest, it is an aging cast.
Yeah,
especially with like Paul Rudd.
Yeah,
and Evangeline Lilly and things like that. And look at there's no more. Even the Captain Americas and things like that, you know what I mean? We've got Anthony Wilson, who obviously plays... Oh, no, Anthony Mackie, sorry. Who plays Sam Wilson.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's the new... I know, I can't believe I forgot that. He's obviously the new Captain America. We've obviously got Bucky as well, who's... You know what I mean?
The new
Sebastian Stan. So he's in that, and he's now getting tied to the Thunderbolts as well. Yeah. Maybe we already know that the cast has been confirmed for that, so we know that that's coming, and we know that he's a part of that group and that organization. So, I do think they need to start bringing in younger people. She didn't do a bad job or anything like that. What did you think of the girl that played Peyton? Who I can't remember her surname. I thought it was Reed, but that's the director.
Yeah,
I can't remember what her surname is. But what did you think of the new Cassie? What did you think of that role?
No, I thought she was good, and I thought she was good performance was good, and I ended up liking our character. But see with the Young Avengers thing. See in the comics. Do you know who dies for the Young Avengers to become a thing?
It's a pure obscure character, is it not? Is it Scott Lang?
It's Scott.
Scott Lang.
Ant-Man dies, and it like causes all these people that pure love, like all they like. Cause like I think he's like a father, like a father person for like superheroes, but like not as like the father, just for like them to become superheroes and that, and so yeah, they all got together and became the Young Avengers because he died, and they all were like mourning.
It's obviously coming. I do believe there will be more deaths throughout the Marvel universe. I think there's got to be. I was very surprised that nobody was killed, like nobody of an importance to that. So they obviously still have Paul Rudd, Scott Lang, like involved with, or they must have him tied for other projects, or they're hopeful that his character will. Because really, he's one of the only really seniors left of the Avengers.
Yeah.
To be honest, it's him, Hulk. I don't know what Hulk's doing at the minute. I don't know where he is.
No, he's back on.
He's back on Earth because he was away to Scar.
No, his son's called.
That's
Scar.
his son. Sorry, he was. Where was he again? It was the planet that he was on with.
No, it was a different one. I forget though.
No, it was a planet he was on with Thor. That's what it was.
Because that was just a ship. You didn't go back to that planet.
But he wasn't. No. He definitely did. 100% did.
How could you get this fact checked right now?
He 100% did, because he wasn't anywhere else. He was only at that planet when he crashed into his ship, and then he was the Hulk for like so many years.
I know. He didn't go to Zakar though.
So where did he go?
I don't know.
Look it up now. Look at your phone.
My phone's turned off.
Your phone's turned off. Look at that. Of course, he's using the example that his phone turned off. Let me just see.
I think you'll see that.
Listen, if I'm wrong, I'll put my hands up and I'll say I am wrong. Okay, exactly. But let's see. Where did Hulk
go?
Where did Hulk travel to? Because I thought that was the whole point, that he was over there and he got a son. Because he didn't travel to any other planet other than that. That was the only planet he landed in. And then when him and Thor came back to Thingway, they obviously went in the ship, and then that's when they headed and get caught by Thanos in the middle of nowhere.
Well, yeah.
So where did
Hulk
Hulk travel during She-Hulk? There we go. Oh, what's that? Say, looker.
I'm actually dyslexic. I can't read that.
Okay. So Hulk goes to Sakaar.
But why does he go to Sakaar? That makes no sense.
What do you mean? It doesn't make any sense? He went to go and visit his son. He's obviously found out he's got a son. He's obviously, while he's been over there being the Hulk, he's managed to get it on with somebody, and that's why he's got the son.
He got that Hulk riz.
Oh, God's sake! I can't believe I knew. I was like, I am not batshit crazy, and I know I'm not, and I knew that was something to do with that. So, come on.
I'm sorry, Curtis.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
You know what? I'm not going to say that again. You can't even see it, but I'm going to use the Infinity Gauntlet on you, Curtis, and kill you.
Yeah, he's going to use it. He's going to do the snap to me, bro. Other characters were absolutely amazing. Michelle Pfeiffer gets a really big, kind of like a lot of screen time in this as well.
Is that the mum?
Yes, yeah. Yes, that's the mum. I can't mind what her real name. Janet.
Janet.
Janet. So she has a lot of screen time, because obviously she is the one that basically, it gives you the whole thing of why she's so scared of going back to the quantum realm and all that kind of stuff. And obviously she is the one that she first gets introduced to Kang, and obviously she helps him, realizes what he is about to do or what he's planning on doing is wrong, and that is why she obviously puts a stop to it, and why he's basically coming after her and the family and things like that, because he's brutal. I get that he is type Thanos level. I get that. I just think that when it came to the kind of fighting kind of part of it, it just wasn't up to the Thanos level that it should have been, if you get me. Like, he was so good at, like, he could just like do with people, but after then getting trampled on by 17 million ants, it was like, I get they were big things and they obviously had weapons and things. I get that,
but that's super advanced stuff.
I know that, and I totally get that. I just felt like, had that been Thanos, he maybe would have. The only person I've ever seen Thanos struggle against is Scarlet Witch.
Yeah. No, but I think no, but surely if he had all those ants with all that technology, he wasn't beating them all realistically.
Again, no, and I totally get that, and I'm not disregarding that fact. I just was like, I felt like, especially you seen it in the end scene, he was absolutely beating the absolute hell out of.
I think he's getting dragged apart by all the mad ants and all that. I thought he was dead at that point.
I know, and the fact that he did have the energy at the end, as I say, when they're having their fight scene, the proper fight scene, they did that. It wasn't until the Wasp obviously then jumped in and helped Ant-Man that they could do it. And then he has the weirdest, strangest death ever, but we'll touch on that later. The cast and things, Michael Douglas as well, like he's great in that as well. So that's the OG Ant-Man himself, Mr. Hank Pym even. I felt like it was a really great cast. Now, there is one thing that I would also like to discuss about the cast, and those that are maybe at home may understand where I'm going to go with this. And Luca, were we missing a character?
Yes. We were missing the guy who has the van.
What's his name?
I don't know his name. The guy who lost his mum and his dad, but I still got the van.
Is it not like Miguel? No, is that wrong? I got that wrong.
I don't want to put stereotypes just
because
of his Hispanic nature.
Just stereotyping.
Just because he's Hispanic does not mean he has to have a stereotypical name.
Yeah, I think I may have messed that up there. Sorry. I can't remember what his name is, but we obviously know him as the character.
The van guy.
The van guy, but he's not really the van guy. He does have a name, and it's Michael Pena, the actual actor that plays him. I can't believe I can't remember his name.
None of his pals were in it. Like, even the Baba Yaga guy. He was not in it.
Well, he was in it. Was he? Yes, he was in it, but he wasn't playing himself. He was playing, see the Gooby character?
Was that him?
The host? That was him.
That's mad.
That is him. He was that character. Let's see, so...
Why has it got his baby's picture? You're typing the name of the actor, just baby's pictures came up of him.
I have no idea why it came up like that, but hey, stranger things have happened. One of those ones. So he played Michael Pena's character, Luis. See, it was a typical Mexican name.
No, it's not.
Sorry. He played Luis.
Comic Nation.
He was
cancelled.
He was missed.
He
was missed. Did he fit into that movie though?
No.
Nah, definitely not.
No.
Definitely
you could have seen him at the start. See when he's like walking about all famous and all that. Like Scott Lang, sorry. Maybe you could have saw him and like been, "What's up, my bro? What's up, my famous friend?" And then like they like high five.
Really? You just talked about getting cancelled and you do stuff like that?
No, I've just seen his voice. That is his voice. That's not like a stereotype. That just is his voice.
He was 100% missed, and I think it was it obviously just shows the importance of his character, and yeah, I would have loved to have seen him. Hopefully we do see him again. Do you think there'll be another Ant-Man movie? Maybe not till like I don't think if they were doing an Ant-Man movie, he wouldn't be the Ant-Man, as in Scott Lang. Yeah. I think they would pass that over to like Cassie or something
Cassie,
like that.
I forgot. I was going to say Kelsey Lang.
Cassie, you know what I mean? I think they'd pass that over to her because she now has her own suit, a nice purple suit, and she's obviously learning the trade, because it was funny, he was trying to teach her certain things like doing all the punching and things like that, but you never know what the future will hold. It obviously seems to me like they're holding on to Paul Rudd. I don't know if that's like the star power that they're trying to hold on to.
It does.
Like, you know what I mean? Like him as a person, you're more inclined to maybe go see him in movies and things like that. He's a great Ant-Man, and he fits the bill for what happens. Just the comedy in the movie, yeah, again, it was great. What did you think of the visuals of the movie? Now, we were discussing what it kind of felt like, but what did you think of the actual visuals of it? You know what I mean? Like all the scenes where, you know what I mean? Well, just like, what did you think? I mean, personally, I thought they were stunning.
Yeah,
it was really, really good. Not at one point did I think that's really bad CGI or anything like that. Like, what was your thoughts?
No, I thought it was amazing, like well done. Better CGI than the She-Hulk show when she walks in like a pure GTA character.
No, it's that what do you call it, the football manager.
Oh
like,
yeah,
FIFA.
That's what it is. When you walk, you try to buy someone, and like when you're doing the manager career mode, and you get the player to walk in, just all exactly like that, isn't it?
It was absolutely amazing. It was absolutely stunning. I didn't get the feeling that it was a Marvel movie we were watching.
You thought it was another thing owned by Disney at some points?
Yes, I got the impression that it was very Star Warsy, especially the scene where Kang summons all of these troops. See the way that they do it with Kylo Ren.
He calls it
things
an
like that.
empire. I'm like, that's
His
literally
empire.
just
That's literally Star Wars.
yeah, that is Star Wars. That is like Emperor Palpatine's type stuff there.
It was just I was like, are we watching Star Wars? Like are we?
No, there was a bit
Even
when
a bit Star Trekky at some points
Yeah.
as well. Like it was really weird.
No, there's a bit where they're on a standoff in like a desert, and I swear one of them had the same outfit as Rey, and like the bit on the bit is Rey in the Force Awakens, which is in that desert planet, looking at like all the scraps. She just has that like stupid mask on, like for the desert. What is that like that? Star Wars movie confirmed.
It was definitely it did have the feel of a Star Wars movie, and I think like that. Like, I don't know if it was maybe just because it was a Disney thing or whatever, and because they were set like in an alien type planet, because not everybody was a human or anything like that. They were obviously different. I mean, there was a guy who looked like a piece of broccoli.
Yeah, the broccoli guy.
The broccoli guy who tries to fire into the Wasp.
Yeah.
At one point, I loved just all the wee subtle things in the movie, like how they had they were all speaking their own language, and to understand them, they had to drink the goop or whatever.
Ooze.
The
Drink
goo.
the ooze.
Drink the ooze. Drink the ooze. Drink the. It was one of brilliant. Just I pure good laugh, man. Like I really did enjoy it, and just loads of wee bit. Even again, spoiler alert, a wee cameo from Bill Murray. Bill Murray. Do you know who Bill Murray is?
No.
He was the guy that basically they summoned to help him, and then they double crossed him, whatever, because he was a freedom fighter. They called him.
Oh, I thought that was Tom Hanks.
No, honestly. Did you think that was Tom Hanks?
I thought that was Tom Hanks.
That's Bill Murray. That's an OG Ghostbuster.
Is that not Tom Hanks?
No, if I'm telling you it's Bill Murray, I'm not telling you it's Tom Hanks.
I thought it was Tom Hanks this entire time.
No, Tom Hanks is Woody from Toy Story.
Well, yes, I know.
Or Forrest Gump.
That's mad. I thought that was. I'm
What
not
do you mean?
gonna lie.
It said in the credits Bill Murray.
I wasn't looking at that. I wasn't looking.
Come on.
I was looking for the funny names.
You've just shown your age there. I can't believe you thought that was Tom Hanks. It was Bill Murray. Bill Murray is in the movie. I can't remember what his title was called, but he was basically part of the revolution that was against Kang, and it looks as if through the years of of Janet being gone, that he's now changed over and he's a bot man, and he's basically capturing folk for him and being part of his army and things like that. So, but great banter as well. They had a lot of stuff that would probably fly over kids' heads. The way they were talking, like that they've obviously managed to get jiggy with it at some point within the quantum realm.
Jiggy with it.
Because they do address that, and he says, obviously, are you human? And he says, I'm part human. He says just all the necessary kind of bits that you need. So he's talking about something, and we're not going to discuss it because we don't want to get blocked.
We are a family-friendly podcast.
Family-friendly podcast right here, combination podcast. Yeah. Now, obviously, at the end of it, the Kang happens to... I'm still in disbelief of what
I
happened.
don't understand why you don't like it. Just pretty much just gets incinerated by the orb.
It gets incinerated. It's as if it turns against him and he gets
grabs him at some point.
It's as if he gets sucked into it. But it is addressed during the first end credit scene. Is it the end credit scene?
The first one was all of them in like the Colosseum.
Right, so it gets addressed in the first one, and basically,
he is dead.
He is dead. It's confirmed because we are greeted by three other versions or variants of Kang, and so we get it's amazing how different they all are.
Yeah.
But then, so it kind of cuts to the three of them. They start discussing obviously what to do. So it looks as if there's a war coming with all these Kangs against, well,
everyone else.
Everyone,
I think. Yeah.
Just everyone. It looks as if they're all gonna, rather than fight against each other, which they always do, because there's always a war between the Kangs. It looks as if they're coming together. So I imagine that'll probably tie in with the Kang dynasty.
Yeah.
This will be like the kind of start, slow build of that movie.
That
We've got 2 years.
That probably makes sense with the name now, Kang Dynasty. Just all the Kangs.
Well, I thought of that as well because I was like, how's this going to work? Because I thought it would have just been Kang the Conqueror.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Until he was incinerated by God knows what, and I was like, has he been sucked into like, see, like, because the orb basically that he's either electrocuted by or whatever, that is a tool or that basically controls his ship so that he can move around from different multiverses. And I thought maybe he's been sucked into one and he's obviously going to another multiverse or something like that. So I was like, has he been just sucked away into another one? But they pretty much confirm it, the three Kangs, or like the leaders of whatever it is, that yes, he is pretty much dead and won't be returning. That version of Kang is now gone. But it's funny though, because at the end of that end credit scene, they basically do a big pan and it's like all, again, just hundreds of different versions of him in this kind of Colosseum type looking thing. And basically it's like the, whatchamacallit, they do this kind of pan to the kind of right or whatever way they go, and there's like a Kang the Conqueror looking type person with like the visor all smashed and things like that.
Yeah.
Like, did you pick up on that? I thought that's interesting.
I didn't see that one.
I was like, that's interesting. He was like, it stood right out for me. I was like, oh, look at that. That's Kang the Conqueror, but it's not him.
They're all Kang the Conqueror.
There must be like so many of Kang the Conquerors and so many
versions of them.
It's amazing. He's all about time and how time works and how he can control time and he can control other people's time, and because obviously the Loki thing, it's about them protecting the the timeline, hope not causing any excursions and keeping it obviously like kind of level and things like that, not letting any branches kind of come off and things like that. So, and they do in the second end credit scene obviously introduce Loki again, which we just discussed. So it's going to tie in again, and it looks as if we're getting Kang at his very first form. Looks as if they've travelled back to his very first form because it's set like plenty like 19. It looks like 19 something.
Yeah, 19
like, you know what I mean? Like right at the very start of the century. So it will be very interesting to see how that works. And I'm looking forward to it as well. I love the character Kang, and I love obviously the kind of evil feeling you got behind him as well. Even his henchman, he was just kind of beating the kind of crap out of them, you know what I mean? Especially MODOK.
Yeah.
Darren? You know what I mean? I still can't go over that. But the whole movie itself is a really good family-friendly movie. It's interesting. It didn't touch upon like the next project. Now, Loki is definitely not the next project, if I'm right. I can't remember off the top of my head. I believe we're getting a TV series soon. Because I think is it Secret Wars or Secret Invasion, or is that maybe a couple of ones later on?
I think that's later. I think that's like November time, that one.
So it's pretty much like the way they're doing it. It's kind of like film, TV series, film, TV series.
Because as the TV series ends, then the movie should be coming out like a week or two later.
So it will be interesting to see what happens with that. Now, kind of last wee thing, as I say, we weren't going to go like a play-by-play of the movie. Maybe just pick out certain things. Look, I would be interested to know your rating of the movie, your Comic Nation approved rating for it.
Out of 10, yeah.
Out of 10,
I would give it a solid. I did this last time. I'm not allowed to say like 0.5 now.
I tend not to do the 0.5, but you can do it if you want.
No, I'll stick true to the Comic Nation beliefs. I'll give it a nice 8 out of 10, yeah.
8 out of 10?
Yeah, I'll give that.
I think that's justified. I'll agree with you on that. 8 out of 10. It had bits that could have been much better. As I say, visual-wise, it was great. I loved the scene where there was so many Ant-Men, or Ant-Mans, or whatever you want to call them. Ant-Eyes, maybe. I don't know. Because obviously it's like what was that, a probability or something?
There's a probability thing, yeah.
And it was great. Then they all come together, and it's basically how he gets the orb and things like that. We highly recommend you go and see this in the cinema while you can. I believe it will be in the cinema because it is obviously a Marvel project. It will be in there for a good long while. I'd imagine at least a good couple of months. You know what it was like. It
was filled when we were there. Absolutely filled.
I couldn't believe it. There was so many. That's the first time I've been to a cinema where it hasn't been like an Avenger type movie, and it's been absolutely heaving with people. I couldn't believe it. And it was people that were
All big Marvel
There
fans,
was
they all wait.
yes,
pretty
because
much.
they all waited at the end, which was good. Not really many people left when it was like that kind of end credit scene, but there was even people clapping at the end of the movie.
No,
and
that
things
was
like
no, that
Do you
was
think that was a
no,
joke?
that was a group of boys at the back.
No, it was
no, yes, it was.
a girl.
No, it wasn't. Oh, it might even girls, but like, sorry, we're not supposed to assume
Sorry, we're
genders.
not assuming genders, but
Sorry, but they look like boys or girls. Sorry, but no, but it was like a group of like girls thinking they're funny or something.
I don't know. There was a lot of people there that were obviously Marvel fans, and we got that vibe as soon as we walked through the door and we seen everybody. So yes, so there you go. That is our Comic Nation approved rating of 8 out of 10 there for the movies. We're looking forward to the next projects. Of course, we are. Just a good year, I think, for movies that are going to be coming out next. I believe movie wise is Shazam. We've got Dungeons and Dragons and things like that as well.
Shazam looks sick.
Shazam does looks good. We obviously got an extended trailer during the trailer.
See when we were in the cinemas,
that
see for Shazam. That was the first time they'd shown that trailer for Shazam.
That trailer.
Yeah,
I've seen other ones. I've never seen it so in depth.
Yeah, that was
of
brand new
what
on that
was happening. But this looked it looked interesting. I'd imagine that there won't be any more Shazam movies. It seems like they're doing a proper reset because they didn't show a Flash trailer though.
No, they didn't.
They didn't.
Right, yeah.
And I was very surprised considering I'd imagine that they're probably bigging that up to be the biggest release this year.
For DC, yeah.
Well, for any superhero movie this year. I felt like last year it was all
Batman.
about well, you had your Batman, you had obviously Thor, and then Black Panther at the end of the year.
Yeah.
So, sorry, I forgot Multiverse of Madness as well.
It was very sectioned because for Marvel at least they had Multiverse of Madness right at the start, and then he had the Thor right in the middle, and then at the end they had Wakanda. So I don't know if it's like that this year. I don't know.
We don't know. I would need to have it in front of me, and next time I'll have like a kind of plan in front of me as such of that sort of stuff. But listen, folks, thank you very much for watching. Please, if you are on the YouTube, make sure to hit that subscribe button. There, it's absolutely free to do so. You don't need to pay a penny, and you get to kind of sit and chill with us. There's also a like button there as well if you do fancy liking that. And if you are listening on Apple and Spotify, please make sure to leave a review, a star rating also if you can. And obviously follow the podcast. We will hopefully be releasing more and more throughout the year. But if you did enjoy it, then please obviously make sure to let us know. You can find us on our social medias. We've got Facebook, we've got Instagram, and we are even on TikTok, hoping to do some kind of TikTok sort of things there.
TikTok.
Yep, ticky-tack. But that will come as it grows, and we hope that you'll be along for the journey to grow with us. But thank you very much for watching. Now, my name's been Curtis, and of course we've been joined by Luca.
Yes. Okay.
Thank you very much for watching, folks, and please take care for now, and we'll see you again in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.